And what I'm going to ask you to do, I'm going to ask you to take your pelvis off the rolled up mat, literally off the rolling position. You're going to feel it. And then you're going to move the flesh away. The idea is to find your sitting bone. And what I would like you to, I really would like for you to feel both sitting bone very grounded. If you're right-handed, usually the right pelvis feels a little bit more, you know, connected. I want you to feel the left leg also very heavy. You're going to take the belt around the outer side of the ankle and around the outer hip. The idea of the belt around the outer side of the ankle and the outer hip is to give you stability. Why? Because we're going to open our legs and we search for stretch into our inner thigh, but I don't want the stretch in the inner thigh to affect or compress your lower back. So we keep the femur very heavy inside the socket, the length at the top of the hip bones, and the length at the back of the ribs. Like we did before, we press the feet, we lengthen the knees forwards, and we really hug the femur in the socket. And as we are taking the palms down with the wrist very connected, we elongate our trunk as we come down. We don't sink down, we elongate our trunk. As soon as you're going to come down and you're going to have that belt around the outer hips, around the glutes, and around the outer ankle, I'm going to come around and adjust the belt a little bit. I'm going to possibly place as well, first, you know, the belt, and then I'm going to place something else around your head. Because some of you are so beautifully tall, I'm going to give you a little ball at the bottom of the neck. Very comfortable because it allows you to lengthen the back of the neck quite a lot, lengthen the front sternum and the front palate, and using a little bit of a pressure on the ball, feeling your front neck and your front throat elongating. That's it, perfect. Now once you're all stable and connected, you're going to really visualize your knees coming forwards and your feet going backwards. Now you're going to take your arms up, you're going to strengthen your arms, you're going to give yourself a big hug. You're going to hug your arms so much, you're going to search, your fingertips are going to search for the shoulder blade. And as you're squeezing the fingertips around the shoulder blade, search for the little point of your shoulder blades muscles, and sometimes they feel a little bit fragile, I would say, okay? Take a few breaths there, okay? Sometimes it's easier if you have a little bit of a tight upper back, feeling a cramp straight away as you're doing that. Breathe in that area, so you'll be very natural, particularly if you're feeling something compressing. Open your arms again. Now again, hug your arms towards the other side. You get that hugging motion. I know if you didn't have that belt around the ankle and around the hips, probably some of you would lose that internal stability, okay? See if you can keep your feet grounded and concentrate calmly on the breath to back body. That's it, around the back rib cage, the shoulders. That's it, get those fingers around the shoulder blades, widen the dorsal spine, and now take your arms upward. Now you're bringing your arm in the socket and you're thinking about that space you've just opened, okay? You're going to take your top left elbow above your right elbow, you're going to interlock your fingers if you can. Sometimes the restriction of our arms, muscles, doesn't allow for this intertwine to happen easily. And then sometimes it happens that we collapse the palms towards the head or we collapse the elbows. We don't want to do either of that. We're going to keep the elbows and the palms in alignment. Elbows in alignment with your shoulders, palms in alignment with your frontal head. And now we start pushing the top left arm on the bottom right arm. They basically play with one another. And we lengthen the top sternum, okay? We're going to use this resistance. We're going to change to the other side, okay? So we're going to take right arm on left arm, same as before, we intertwine. We keep the line of your palms not collapsing. We lengthen the top sternum. Top right arm presses down, bottom left arm supports that pressure, and we start lifting the chest, the sternum, and the heart. We really get longer at the front. as if someone is pulling our neck and palate away from directly the hips and the pelvis. If you can contract gently your pelvic floor muscle while we're doing this work, that would be fantastic. Don't worry if it doesn't happen straight away. But what I would like you to do right now, I'm going to ask you to keep your pelvis rooted, open the knees a little bit, and before we're going to open the knees completely, we're going to start contracting the pelvic floor between your inner pubic area. And now you're keeping the pelvic floor active. I call it the 3 P's, the pee-pee, poop and perineum. Right now, if you can concentrate on the middle one, which is the perineum, that would be fantastic. And as you're keeping the perineum connected and pulling upwards, you start widening the legs. The belt on the outer side of the ankle and the outer side of the hip will keep the pelvis stable. Now you can concentrate in lifting and stretching the arms. As you're keeping the pelvis connected, okay, pubic bone inwards, femur sinking in the socket, feet touching and pressing into one another, back body long. Now intertwine your fingers. You go butterfly in your legs and butterfly in your fingers. You're using your palms as if they want to use again resistance and separate, but they can't separate. And you start stretching your fingers away, your arms backwards and upwards. So again, your shoulder blades are connecting down. You feel the rolled up mat being squeezed by your shoulder blades. Your heart lifts up because your shoulder blades are squeezing inwards, and you start stretching your arms, strengthening your arms. So the strength of your under armpit skin connects to the strength on the outer hips. So the more you press in your feet towards one another with the outer heel pressing, you're also going to engage the outer side of the buttocks. Okay? The outer side of the buttocks and the hips are hugging in, as if you have 2 pins where the belt is. Okay? You're keeping the length of the waistline, the back ribs widening, the front ribs lengthening down, and the chest and the sternum opening upwards. So although I'm just asking you to lift your arms backwards, I'm asking you at the same time to make the movement begin from the feet. Feet hugging, knees out, outer hips hugging, bottom part of the shoulder blades connecting to the outer hips, arms and fingers stretching, amazing, and take your arms backwards. Very, very good, beautiful. Taking the belt away, that's it. Moving slowly and gently yourself off the rolled up mat, either rolling up or sliding outwards. That's it, you're gonna move the rolled up mat behind you, you're gonna sit on it. This movement is very particular because it looks like you're not gonna do a lot of work, but in reality you're gonna do quite a lot of work, more than you think. I'm asking you to work your legs as if you are standing, but you're not standing. So usually what we do, we use our back when we sit because we don't use the legs. We tend to sit with our back because our legs are so weak. What we're doing right now, we're gonna use the resistance of the feet against the belt. And the way you're gonna grab the belt is just with the thumb and in your index. So we don't collapse the wrist, the elbow, or the under armpit skin. There is a line. Now you're adjusting your pelvis on the rolled up mat, and you're gonna find the sitting bone, okay? So you're strengthening the power of the legs, back muscle of the legs even more before you move the flesh away. Don't let your legs be too stretchy when you're moving the flesh away. Strengthen them. And now once you have moved the flesh away from your sitting bone, then you can bring your sitting bone off the rolled up mat. Now the idea is, can I use my legs power? Ideally, you should feel a line from your inner knee, stretching your inner ankle and your inner calf forward, and a line from the inner thighs, hugging the inner thighs towards one another and rooting the inner thighs down the floor. So you keep working the back of the legs, as if you want to stretch and lengthen the back knees to the floor completely. Now, you're going to use the belt not to kind of move your back, you're going to use the belt as a resistance for your trunk to be long, for your arms to be extended, for your inner arches to be active, And now again, using a little touch of your finger, engage your arms and start grounding to the lower part of the body to lengthen the back ribs and the trunk. Widen your collarbone and your shoulder blades. Again, the longer and the stronger your legs, the longer and the stronger your arms, the trunk will float up easily. Good, fantastic, and release. I know it's a lot of work.